No, it took me like 4 attempts. Oh, Chaos Flame, lovely. A very strong basket.
I know what you're doing. Trying to play on my sympathies in the hope I let you live.
I am only trying to help. The mistakes of the past need not be repeated.
I don't need to hear about your mistakes. I've made enough of my own, thanks.
No, it took me a while to remember how to do it. Look at them bones. I want to befriend the doggos. That's all weird. Had nothing to batter up. Hey, batter, batter, batter.
Everyone is so eager to advise me, as if any of you know me or what I need. The biggest loss in my life is due to you saving me when I specifically told you not to. Well, it was my family, my mess. I know Baldur wasn't perfect, but he was mine.
I know.
You know? You think you can even begin to understand the pain of losing a child?
Yeah. Yes. I do.
There was another. Before Atreus?
Yeah, Pandora.
That was Calliope.
Oh no, Calliope. Who's Pandora then?
What happened?
It was long ago.
Oh yeah, no. So Pandora was was like a foster, someone else's daughter. The engineers. Calliope is pre-God of War 1, right? We're wearing Calliope. I am the ghost of Sparta.
Einherjar. So they do occupy here. Remember, it won't do any good to attack while their shields are up.
Double tap L1 to break an enemy's defense. Okay, that's... The double tap is the one I'm not used to. Fuck, I'm shit at just doing the normal one, to be honest, but...
Remember, it won't do any good to attack while their shields are up.
Trying to counter. Maybe I just have to hold it down. I'm trying to quick counter. Maybe I'm just supposed to hold the shield up at that moment. Well, I reckon I'm going on. I don't make me fight the ladies again. I can't see where you are.
Serves the Aesir right. These are formidable creatures, very territorial. Good luck.
Fuck. Just immediate burn. It's a flame Gudanga, mount favoured by Odin's Einherjar. You likened it to a lion from Greece, combined with the horns of a goat and antlers of a stag, the unnatural ability to combust the foliage around them. Yeah, that sniper ability is very useful. Oh, hello, Screams. We are the god of war. See? There he is. He's got his beard and everything. He doesn't have a hat though. Ah, just imagine he could be wearing some Johnstruct merch right now. Ah, it'd give him +10 God of Warring. That's what would have happened. That's a stat that's probably tracked out. There's a lot of stats. It's probably one of the stats. We need
to get to that watchtower. We'll have to go through the valley this way.
Freya's a bird now. He is truly missing out. We did murder her son, but like that, there were circumstances.
I know your son's story. You should know my daughter's. In the service of a cruel god, I was tricked into destroying a village, not knowing my own wife and child were there until their blood stained my hands. I swore revenge.
I can't imagine.
I paid back their blood 1,000 times and burned Olympus to the ground. Yet,
He did.
the guilt remained. Perhaps you will kill me, Freya, but it will bring you no peace.
Perhaps it is not peace I seek.
So the reason why his skin is pale is because he has the ashes of his wife and daughter. It was a part of a weird magic spell. He is the ghost of Sparta. Sparta? It's Sparta, isn't it? Sparta's a different game.
All those times I found you, why'd you refuse to fight me?
Every outcome would mean defeat.
What does that mean?
I have never wished you harm, Freya. You helped us. You saved Atreus when he was sick. I did not wish to live with killing you.
He was sick.
More than I wished to die.
I see.
So they're doing quite a good job of, like, occasionally, because they talk about his brother, and I think his brother's in God of War 2, and the idea is one of the gods was like, wow, fucking, they're brothers, so I make you up magical powers, and we'll make them fight each other, and it's a silly... But in this, he says, oh, I had a brother too, and, circumstances, and it's like, yeah, but God of War, the original ones are very silly. But it sounds poignant, like them telling each other. It's like, yeah, Freya doesn't... We don't need to tell Freya, like, what God of War was actually like. Because, realistically speaking, this Kratos is not really compatible with the last Kratos. The original Kratos is a massive prick. Which I know is the point, because he's like, yeah, I was bad too, and it brought me no peace. But it's like, yeah, he was worse than that. I mean, he killed literally the entire pantheon and brought... I mean, everyone in ancient magical Greece died because of him. He apocalypsed the place. Which, I mean, I know this game's called God of War Ragnarok, but this time it doesn't seem like it's his fault.
You hear that?
Probably nothing. She can't be a bird outside this realm until we break her free from curse. I'll be right back. I'll tell you what, though. I'll put it in photo mode so you can look at that. No. Oh. I'm going to make myself a caffeine-free tea. Certainly not drinking from a carton. Would be. So, speaking of drinking from a carton, I'm going to see a house tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Monday. Oh, I see. No, I just didn't see it. I didn't hear the but and I assumed it broke. I am going to see a house, an actual, not a flat, not a bloody house that's been cut in half, but an actual house. Apparently it's a cottage, but still. On Monday, in the ground, the place where I grew up, and hopefully.
Noken! And so close to the village. Their song makes their allies invulnerable. They will not let you pass unless you destroy.
Hopefully, and I intend to buy it if it's good. It is quote unquote in need of modernization. It says on the web page. It's double glazed, but it's going to need new windows. It seems to need carpets. I'll need to buy a fridge, a cooker. Something. But as long as the electrics and the roof is fine, I don't care. So yeah, it'll be an ancient house rather than a new one. What is going on here? But we'll see. Like, it's got 2 floors in it, but like, I'm trying to figure out why it's cheap, because usually when they're cheap, there's something wrong with them. And I can only afford cheap. But there is no parking. So, like, it comes with like a it's hard to tell because the pictures might be small. Like, but it's 65 square meters. So it's 2 floors. It has a little what do you call it? I'll try and describe it. This will be really fun for anyone to watch back in the future. So it's on the main street. It's in a place I know. Specifically, it's in Red Roof, which is a place where I know other people live who can take me to work in their cars. But also, I know the trains. I know the place well. It is a 2-minute walk from the train station, 2-minute walk from shops. So location-wise, it's great. It has a front door or a bell. I'm not used to a bell. That'd be great. It has like an airlock. So it has a, whatever that room is called. So a door to a door. So I've got the glass door. I guess you leave your shoes in that one room. More importantly, if I were to get, say, a cat, it couldn't escape through the front door because of the airlock. Well, that'd be nice. Then it has a front room, which it's a square room. It looks a little bit grody. That leads to a back room with a kitchen, which is very kind of short and wide, but it is a separate room kitchen. It is not a fucking lounge kitchen, which I hate. I don't like. It's convenient, but like I don't like being in the room with the fridge constantly buzzing, and I don't know. I like the idea of the kitchen being a separate room. It's got a back door, and next to it is they've kind of cut a hole into the room. Because apparently my next door neighbour has right of way in a little corridor, so they can get into their house. So we share that corridor, but it's technically my corridor. It would be if I get it. And then I have a backyard which is huge, but it's only stone, and but like it's a weird long backyard because it leads into like there's some fields behind me. It's where the park is. So there's a little park for children, but like it's like 2 football fields. No, it's bigger than that. It's quite a long field, but so potentially that's a good direction for a cat to go in, because in the UK, indoor cats are a bit strange. We don't really, but like that's a set. But we are still close to the main street. Then up the stairs, there's 2 bedrooms, on one side. And a study room which leads to the toilet, to the bathroom, which has a physical, actual bath. But like I was thinking, like the study room could be a cat room. I mean, it's just a room before you get to the bathroom, to be honest. And they're like, it's a study room now. But like, yeah, because I've not had an actual bath because I've only ever owned showers in like 20 years. So that'd be that. It seems like a good size. None of the places have carpets, and it's cheap enough that I like the kitchen needs modernising, I think. But like, those are projects. I'm actually bringing my dad along, because he phoned me up for 40 minutes the other day, because he was like, "What are you doing with your life? You should get a hobby. You should take up dancing." I'm like, "I'm not going to do that. No." You should just go to random places and join in things. I'm like, that seems unlikely, but okay, I'll take it on board. And I was like, oh, fine. He can see the house. He probably knows more about houses than I do. We can bond, and then he can go away again. I did send him a 2-hour YouTube video. He does apparently have YouTube, but he hates it because he obviously doesn't know how to use it. So like, presumably every time he clicks on YouTube, he gets TikToks, and I can imagine that would be hell for him. It's hell for me. But I sent him a 2-hour video about the political decisions made before they used the bomb in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, which I thought would be up his alley. I just wanted him to know there is good stuff on YouTube. You just have to find it. And a 2-hour Liverpudlian talking for 2 hours dryly about just why it was a terrible idea to drop the atom bomb. I thought it would be good, so I could actually say it's good. Like, mainly because I watch a lot of videos like that, but a lot of them are a lot more, theatrical. And I wasn't sure he'd be ready for theatrical yet, but Sean's quite dry. What is it? That? Do I expect that thing? Okay. Oh yeah, it's stunned him now. Laser, axe laser. Everyone knows axe has lasers. But yeah, if it's all that, if that seems like, if the bank lets me borrow the money, that seems like it'd be wonderful. All I need, I mean, I mentioned it before. I've got a TV here. I can't tell you, it's a big TV that I've always wanted to mount on the wall. It'd have to be a tiny bit higher. It's still going to be lower than the. Okay, I can't bring the exercise machine into view, but like, it's got a second bedroom, so I can have my board game. And my dad was like, "Yeah, you should rent out the second room." It's like, "Dad, that's the board game room. No one's sleeping in the board game room. That's for board games." But yeah, like that's the big issue was I needed a long. I like having my TV next to my computer because they're all wired in so I can stream. So I needed a wall long enough to do that, and I'm not 100% sure the wall is, but I don't mind. I will live with that. The worry was all the other places I couldn't have the front room and the computer table, and like a second bedroom is just perfect for that because it's just like cool. I love the idea of people being able to sit down, play board games, and not have to like squeeze past things and stuff. So that's all wonderful. I like that. There was a very shiny place in Truro, but Truro's too far away, and I didn't want to kick out people. And also, the toilet is upstairs. It means I've not had an upstairs in years. I'm just astounded that it's a cottage, apparently, which I've always wanted a cottage, to be honest. And I think that just means a small house. But I'm astounded that, like, It's called freehold, so I'm not paying rent on the ground. I'd be able to keep the entire thing. I'd have an actual house. I never in a million years thought I'd have an actual house, even a tiny one, which is honestly the size I'd like anyway. But the yard, my dad noticed, like if it has a long yard, that's. I mean, I would never have the money to do this, but I could build. I could build on that. I could have a big house. I'm never going to be able to afford to do that. Shit, building this expensive. Hello, bird. Oh, there was a fox earlier. Magical fox.
I used to play hide and seek with Freya in the crops.
Why do you and your brother have the same name? It's well confusing, Freya.
Grand Hall. At harvest time, we'd dance and feast until the sun rose.
Oh, she's doing a speech.
It's all so simple. Why did I have to come back here? Be reminded of all this.
Yes, as long I'm trying to figure out what bad thing is making it cheap. Like, I get that it's an old, unmodernized house, but like, I mean, if it's not worse than what I'm living in, I don't care, because then that's again, those are just projects to do until I'm old, and that'll be fun. That's a feature rather than a bug at that point. The only thing I don't like the idea of is the toilet's upstairs, so I'd have to go upstairs to pee every time I'm on stream, which increases the distance. But that's exercise. My watch counts that as exercise. That's a feature rather than a bug. I'm sorry, Freya. That was just mean of me. Are you a monster? Maybe I'm not supposed to interact with that just yet. What are we doing? Okay, I'm unsure as to why that didn't work a second ago, but whatever. The other thing is because he used to stay at my sister's house for ages. Because he used to have a place in Spain. He tried building his own house in Spain, just doing rural parts, just by like finding. I don't know how he planned to do this, but he has no money. But like he finds his ways. But my sister's always had like a space for him to stay, and so like I'm always a little worried to have a spare room for that reason anyway. He's got his own place now in the UK. He's come back recently, but he remembered once, and I've got a tiny yard. He is an interesting man. I will give him that. But like a tiny, like smaller than a bathroom, would say. And he once asked if I should get a shed so he could like camp in the shed. I was like, that wouldn't even keep. But like now I do technically have a camping space. If he wanted to, that'd also be really weird. We once went to Butlins. We twice went to Butlins, which is like, I don't know if you know what a Redcoat or Butlins is, but it is like a campy sort of holiday park that's got loads of like ye old British entertainment in it. It's got like rides and stuff, but it's more about the sort of, yeah, it's fine. I can't think of an equivalent. Not a Disney scale. I imagine a smaller county scale holiday park. You stay there for a couple of days, and there are different. So like, yeah, but like it has singing and dancing place. I don't know. It feels very British. Anyway, the point I'm making is it takes like, we're at the bottom of the country. It takes like 7 hours to drive there, and he's not willing to drive 7 hours. So what he did growing up, first he'd kidnap us from school, which they do not let you do anymore. He literally just, because we were living with our mum at the time, so he would come to school one day and be like, "Hey, you're going on holiday," because holidays are cheap, the cheapest first day of term. So he realised this, kidnap us, be like, "Right, I'm taking him." We drive halfway up. Then he'd knock on somebody's door and be like, "Is that your field? Can we tent there?" I guess. Cool. Thanks. Don't need to. any food or anything, and we'd tent outside some random person's house. He is the very essence of like, you know, if you don't ask, you don't get. And you know, we'd never take. Sometimes we stay at a relative instead. But like, yeah, that one time we was just like, oh, we bought tents. We're using the tents. And then we'd stay at the Butlins for 2 days and then come back down. Schools fine you for doing that because he's clearly not the only person to do that. But like, he's definitely the only person who did it without like my mum knowing. I think she would figure it out. But yeah, because like, I don't know how many people did that, but my sister certainly tried doing that with her kids at some point. Without kidnapping people. That's an extra rub.
It's in ruin.
Oh, they've ruined it. It was a perfectly good grand hall, and now it's been ruined. Oh, I don't have a...
May Freya never waver.
The other half is missing. May she protect us always.
Hang on, how can you read the walls? Freya's people loved her deeply. They seem to have abandoned this village long ago, whether by choice or by force is unclear, but I feel the words have sounded in her absence.
An old adage, if you will.
Oh yeah, forget Freya's literally a god. As is Freya. I don't know how to pronounce the two names. They appear to be the same name.
I hear them inside. Get ready to clear them out.
Oh. Yeah, I laser you. You wasn't expecting lasers. Why are you feeling so blue? Allow me to ask you a question. Yeah, it's in sometimes physics goes, I'll be back in a minute or so. That'll come in handy. I fought armies. I thought I'd give it a bash. Okay, thought I'd take a swing of things. It looks like she got the
Wasn't
point.
enough what Odin did to me. He's desecrated every memory I have of home.
Be glad you have a home to remember fondly. In Sparta, we were taken from our homes as children and raised in the Agogi. We marched or we drowned, fought for scraps or starved. Our elders beat us till we could not stand. At night, we made our way home, alone, or were food for wolves. That is how Spartans are made.
Yeah, I guess he was a Spartan. Yeah, he's the ghost of Sparta. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, it never occurred to me that he would be like one of the 300s. I mean, he wouldn't because they all died, obviously, but and they died in actual place because he's in like he's not from real life times. He's from mythical times, but like Sparta. Where are we going? Is it Thermopylae? Thank you very much. Okay, I hope Freya, you when you don't mind me smashing all your pottery, right? I know, like, you're sad about your town being dead, but like pottery doesn't count. Nobody cares about pottery. Okay, cool. Right, I didn't hear a no. Honey.
These plants behave similarly to the scorn poles we found in the foothills of Midgard ages ago.
Refresh my memory. I totally meant to do it like a... Oh, I see.
Well, considering how Spartans are made, it's no wonder you turned out as you did. Your fate was sealed from the start.
Fate can be overcome.
I used to think so. When the Norns told me of my son's fate, I thought I could change it. You know well how that worked out.
The Norns, the fates of these lands.
That's right. You defy prophecy at your own peril.
Yeah, we went back and we killed the Fates. And then did some time travel. I think that was God of War 2. Which I'm guessing this references a lot, to be honest. That's probably why they brought up his brother. So I know the word Norns. Oh, does that mean we're going to see the Grendel as well? Yeah, yeah. I mean, bear in mind, he's died as well. And we just crawled our way out of hell. Or whatever it was called. Hades. We killed Hades as well. mean, we killed everyone. How do I get to this? Oh, don't do that. That's a bad idea. You could have... Oh. That'll be the final game.
These plants behave similarly to the scorn holes we found in the foothills of Midgard ages ago. Well, considering how Spartans are made, it's no wonder you turned out as you did. Your fate was sealed from the start.
Fate can be overcome.
I used to think so. When the Norns told me of my son's fate, I thought I could change it. You know well how that worked out.
The Norns, the fates of these lands.
That's right. You defy prophecy at your own peril.
Just the normal one. So there's a game I grew up with called Creatures. And it was an artificial life game. And it's a 2D game, and the creatures go, hoo hoo ha ha ha, hoo hoo. And you had to take them to a machine to teach them words. And they had a simple language, and they walked around, and you had to, and if you saw the Grendel, you'd slap the shit out of the Grendel and hope it would go away, which is a bit mean. But there were Norns, there were Ettins, and there were the Grendel, just the one Grendel. Like, hoo hoo. There were like 5 different files, and one was like hoo, and then one was ha, and the other was he. But you could edit them and go ha ha, more ha ha ha, if you thought that was entertaining. Which I did, so I did. But like the whole point of the game was you just let them sort of go around and do stuff, and you'd give them toys, and if they went through poisons, you'd have to slap them. And if they did things you liked, you tickled them, and they would encourage behaviour. And they had actual brains that would determine stuff like that. And I always wanted like a mutation, so they had an extra arm, but that's not how that worked. But they would like... Yeah, it was like a sophisticated, award-winning artificial life game. And I really wish they'd make another one, to be honest. It was made by scientists rather than gamers, so... But it was just called Creatures. It was from like 1994 or some shit. Let's put on this new shield. Good punch! And like you'd keep talking to them and they get more complex language. And then you'd eventually be like, you could, instead of slapping them, you could tell them no, and it would do the same thing to their brain. And you could fast forward. There's these things called the Wolfling trials, because they'd breed. You just hear kissing noises, and eventually an egg would appear, and you have to take the egg to the incubator. But there was loads of mods for it, like so you could add extra toys and things like that. But like there were different Norns you could get, so there were like ones that looked more like tigers, and did have. And so you get different species. You'd get different arm parts, leg parts, and yeah. I'd be tempted to play again on stream, but like I don't know. I don't think it'd do great. I just want them to make another one. Because the hardest thing to do, the machine teaches them like verbs, I think it is, or adjectives. I don't know what these words mean. And so you could be like, okay, that's a ball. You're looking at a ball right now. It's called a ball. It's a ball. And they go, aha. And they'd say ball. And, ball. It's called a ball. Woo-ha. Ball. Okay, he's got it. Tickle, tickle, tickle. But, like, pick up. You need the machine to teach. So it'd be like an animation of pick up. So then you'd be like, pick up ball. And then, oh, I don't want to pick up a ball. I want to go play. Pick up a fucking ball, no. Okay, now eat food. Because you'll die without the food and things like that. And so like the Greditor was the Grendel was their natural predator, and it would make them poisoned. It'd make them sick. So you'd have to like, you probably didn't need to slap the shit out of them, but like as a 12-year-old, you just like slap, 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 and like nowadays I'm like, And obviously it's not an actual slap, it's just a negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement, right? Which doesn't need to be actually physically aggressive. But like, old game. It's from the 90s, but like, not that old, they knew better. But yeah, I really loved it. But you never get you never have your super race, which is what I really wanted, because it was a realistic game. Wasn't about you getting a super race. I want psychic Norns, I want four-legged, I want them to have weird mutations, and they can have weird mutations, but they happen in the brain, rather than like the bounds of the actual game. Can you do like a cool thing?
Atreus would agree with you about prophecy. He rushes blindly to a fate the giants foretold. Disappears for 2 days, trying to prove he is their champion. Fabled to fight at Ragnarok.
Okay, why is that rope moving at like...
Ragnarok prophecies, there's no champion of the giants.
It is one glow concealed. Because of this champion, the realms are saved at Ragnarok. Only Asgard falls, and Odin with it.
Okay, that rope moves to like 10...
Odin's obsession with every detail of Ragnarok has been missing a crucial piece. Huh. Well done, Grove.
She made a bird noise. No, sorry, the rope was moving at like 10 frames per second. It was really weird. Yes, yeah, that does happen, and I'm sure there might be people who watch Creatures games. Bird. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Unfortunately, I never know how to do this. I don't think there's enough people on the Discord for the votes to actually do anything. But I know, like, you have to do stuff for there to be people on the Discords. But it'd be tempting. I know, like, loads of people have been on, but like, it feels like people appear for 3 months and then they disappear. And like, I never have more than one person watching at a time. It's really strange. And I get that some people are only interested in one game, so they disappear for that.
Will not be a pawn of prophecy.
You still stand against fate, even with victory foretold.
I will not march my son to war. He is no Spartan. I would keep it that way.
You would speak to me of protecting your child? Is my tragedy not enough of a lesson? Fighting fate is a waste of the precious time we're given to spend with them. You never know when someone will come along and cut it short.
Oh, hello, Cake. Speaking of 2 people, thank you for joining me. Like night owls. I guess I'm just not very great at fostering communities. I guess they'd be Thevery, but still. I don't know what the terminology is. We're here again. Something's in the way. Okay, I'm not going to be able to fix that.
Can you swing that torch to the other side and burn the bramble blocking your path?
Did I ask for your help? Didn't see the torch, alright? You could have just said, hey, have you seen that torch? No, don't give me advice, lady.
You can probably use those.
I know. There we go. Why does it change the momentum? Why can't I get down? Oh. Sorry, I didn't know you could go over here. This is why I need the lady to tell me that I can go over here.
Use your blade.
No, I know.
To the other side.
Okay, I didn't need you to tell me that. I needed you to tell me, hey, there's an extra fucking perch over here that you haven't seen.
Let's cross the bridge now.
Fine, you know.
How can you, of anyone alive, be squeamish about war? After all the gods you've killed.
I have seen enough war to know the cost.
After the price I paid to end one? Look around you, Kratos. See what happens when you don't fight truly.
Whatever. Okay. Oh, my cup of tea. You're a bird.
That's one of Odin's captains. Be ready.
It's Fiske. Everyone loves Fiske. Fiske is quite strong. Though you know what they say, if you don't take the risk, you can't take the Fiske. That's what they say, that's... Fuck. I was just trying to pick up the thing. Ah! He's a bit cold. fuck? He did. He's got a magical scythe. That's it's farming equipment. What are you doing with it, Fiske? Do I look like corn to you? Oh, he's really good at land. Oh, I can go there. I can't seem to defend against him. Like I'm constantly dodging and he just constantly gets me anyway. I have a real hard time like knowing how to fight Fiske. Usually there's like oh, I'm not using his ability or something like that, but like I have no fucking clue. Nothing seems to hurt him. I might need some advice, because